Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am just Mike. You are watching and you are listening to episode number 39 of the Rock Out Wild Show, where it's not just a show, it is a way of life. Now, if you are new to this channel, if you haven't viewed the Rock Out Wild Show as of yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below this very video. You can also like or dislike this episode of the Rock Out Wild Show and share this episode. Spread the word about this channel and the Rock Out Wild Show to your family, your friends, your coworkers, to your acquaintances. Basically, tell everyone you know about the Rock Out Wild Show in general, where I talk about a variety of things like music, sports, wrestling, film and television, and sometimes I react to myself as well. What do we have on the docket? Well, as you see from the title of this very video, the main event for this episode of the Rock Out Wild Show, I will be talking about a concert that happened 17 years ago to this very day, to this very week, on February 8th, 2008, Within Temptation recorded a live concert called Black Symphony, and they released it to the world on the week of September the 22nd to the 24th of the same year, 2008, which I think it's only fitting that I talk about this live show on this episode. It is called Black Symphony. And I'm going to put on a little bit of a twist with this because I already reviewed this concert. So not only will I be talking about this as of what I feel about it in 2025, but I reviewed this concert back in 2018. I will also be reacting to my review for Within Temptation's Black Symphony live show. With all that being said, what else do I have in store? Well, we have on this day in the world of film and television, wrestling and music. I'm going to skip sports for this week because I know that takes up a lot of time. So we're going to skip that. But to kick things off for our episode number 39, I am going to react to an old movie review of mine called Dumb and Dumber 2. So what I'm going to do is bring up the webcam so you can see my face as I react to my old movie review for Dumb and Dumber 2. So let's get this going, shall we? Let's present, share screen. Dumb and Dumber 2. Make sure the audio is on, obviously. And here we go. So let's put this up full screen. And let's react. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Yeah, I know. That was the best I can come up with. And the award of the worst intro of the year goes to me. At least I know how to poke fun myself. Hey, what is up, all movie fans in the movieverse? Welcome to the Mike McRock Movie Review Show. Right now, I'm about to review a movie called Dumb and Dumber 2. Well, nothing really comes after that, but that's the name of the movie. And this movie stars Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. And what happens in this movie is that after 20 years has passed since their first adventure, both of Lloyd and Harry go on a new road trip to find Harry's newly discovered daughter who has been given up for adoption. And this stars Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels as Lloyd and Harry. And the first thing I have to mention is that these two give really good comedic performances. The chemistry between the two of them, the way that they bounce off each other, is just one of those things where you just sit back and watch and realize, you know what, this is a lot of fun to see these two act like they were 20 years ago. And I really thought that Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels really had an equal pairing. No one outshined from the other guys, so they had an equal fitting in their comedic roles as the leading performances in this movie. Yeah. And you also get a few surprises as well, but I'm not going to name those names just to spoil for the sake of spoiling. So
if you're going to see this movie, go see this movie. Be surprised to see who else is in this movie. And this is one of those things where you really don't care about what's going on in the plot. All you want to see is the antics. What is Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey up to? Are they going to be as good as the first one? And are they? Well, I'll put it to you this way. You know how when you were a kid, so say you're someone who's older, like I am, like I'm 28, and you're a kid, and back in
And right now I'm 39, reacting to this.
the whole high school days, you hung out with the crowd and was like, yeah, this is awesome. But then, you kind of splinter off into college and so on and so on. And 10 or 20 years down the road, you finally meet them again. It's good, but it's not like the old days. And to
Yeah,
me, that is how
true,
I would
very true.
describe Dumb and Dumber 2. I thought the comedy in this movie was really hit and miss. Some of the jokes were kind of funny. Some of them were not so much. But I will say that I actually laughed at the fart jokes. The fart jokes in this movie, yeah, it's one of those things for the sake of comedy. You throw these fart jokes in just for the sake of throwing them in. And I like how they really treated this movie like they tried to be as good as the first one, but it kind of
I
didn't live
tried.
up to it. I'm not saying that Dumb and Dumber 2 is a disappointing movie. It just wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. I mean,
Sure.
the first Dumb and Dumber had a really good following,
Oh yeah.
a really good cult following, and
Hmm.
people loved it. It's
Yep.
not as good as the first one, but it's not a
I
bad
agree.
movie. It's an okay movie, and I
Okay.
can't really get it to pass after 70. So I'm going to say that Dumb and Dumber 2 delivered 69 points out of 100. And if you saw this movie, what did you think
69.
about it? Feel free to comment below and give me your thoughts about Dumb and Dumber 2. And also, you can hit that subscribe button down below this video to get McRocks.
Yeah, so that was my reaction to my old review for Dumb and Dumber 2, starring Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. I will say that, yeah, I agree. The first one is better than the remake. That's usually often the case, and it's a lot funnier than the remake, which is often the case. It's hard to relive the glory days, and it's hard to relive the magic that was that first Dumb and Dumber movie. I mean, they tried with Dumb and Dumber 2. Like I said, it's a decent flick, but it's not the first one. You just can't capture that magic that is the first Dumb and Dumber movie. So that is my take on it right now, and that was my reaction to my old movie review for Dumb and Dumber 2. Now let's get into some of the things that happened on this day in the world of film and television. First and foremost, so we're going to present, share screen, and let's see what happened in the world of film and television for September the 24th. Which will be on a Wednesday. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, what happened in the world of film and television for September the 24th? Well, back in 1928, George M. Cohan and Ring Lardner's musical play Elmer the Great premieres in New York City. In 1930, G. Kaufman and M. Hart's comedy Once in a Lifetime premieres in New York. In 1930, Noel Coward's play Private Lives premieres in London. In 1948, Mildred Gillers, an American broadcaster employed by the Third Reich in Nazi Germany to proliferate propaganda during World War II, pleads not guilty to 8 charges of treason in Washington, D.C. In 1955, the Judy Garland special kicks off the anthology performance series Four Star Juleby on CBS TV. In 1962, KWSU TV Channel 10 in Pullman, WA begins broadcasting. In 1964, Ringo Starr forms Berkeley Building Company Ltd. In 1968, 60 Minutes premieres on CBS TV, and the rest is history. In 1968, That's Life premieres, a Broadway musical type show. In 1977, first broadcast of Love Boat on ABC TV. In 1989, ABC premieres of the let's try this again. In 89, ABC's premiere of the Preppy Murder, based on the 1986 murder in New York City of Jennifer Levin by ex-prep school student Robert Chambers. In 1991, Good and Evil and Sibs premieres on ABC TV. In 1995, TV adaptation Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, starring Jennifer L. and Colin Firth, debuts on BBC One. In 2007, The Big Bang Theory, created by Chuck Lorre and Bill Prady and starring Johnny Galecki, Jim Parsons, and Kaylee Cuoco, premieres on CBS. In 2010, The Social Network, directed by David Fincher and starring Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, and Justin Timberlake, premieres at the New York Film Festival. In 2013, The Goldbergs by Adam F. Goldberg premieres in the U.S. on ABC. In 2014, U.S. sitcom Blackish premieres, created by Kenya Barris, starring Anthony Anderson and Tracy L. Ross. In 2020, David Attenborough breaks Jennifer Aniston's record as the fastest person to reach 1 million followers on Instagram. And those are all the things that happened in the world of film and television for September the 24th. Now let's take a look at some of the things that happened in the world of professional wrestling for September the 24th. And you can ignore the screams that's on my window right now, gratefully. Hopefully it won't last. In 1979, on WWF's Madison Square Garden show from New York, the main event of Nikolai Volkov versus Chief Jay Strongbow ended in a draw after the show overran the 11 p.m. curfew in place at Madison Square Garden, officially known as Curfew Draw. Earlier in the night, Bob Backlund defeated Pat Patterson in a steel cage match. In 1984, Greg the Hammer Valentine defeated Tito Santana in London, Ontario, Canada to win the WWF International Championship. In 1990, Herb Abrams Universal Wrestling Federation, UWF, held their first ever television taping in Reseda, California. A stacked 21-match card featuring an impressive list of talent, including Cactus Jack, Paul Orndorff, and Dr. Death Stevie Williams, and B. Brian Blair, but the attendance at ringside was just 450 people. In 1996, WWF presents In Your House 3, triple header from Sangha, Michigan. The main event was a winner-take-all match featuring Diesel, WWF champion, and Shawn Michaels, Intercontinental champion, against the tag team champions of Owen Hart and Yokozuna. Due to Hart going missing, it was decided that the British Bulldog would take his place. However, Owen Hart made an appearance before the end of the match and ended up being the one pinned for Diesel Michaels to become the one to hold all the gold. The next night on Raw, it would be decided that Owen wasn't legal in the match. The results were avoided, and the tag belts returned to Hart and Yokozuna. In the year 2000, WWF Unforgiven was live from the First Union Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Matt and Jeff Hardy defeated Edge and Christian in a steel cage match to win the tag team titles, with a slight assist from Lita. Elsewhere in the night, Eddie Guerrero defeated Rikishi by disqualification to keep possession of the Intercontinental Championship, and a returning Stone Cold Steve Austin gave a stunner to Steve Blackman, followed by 3 stunners to Shane McMahon. The main event was a fatal 4-way match in which The Rock retained his WWF Championship against The Undertaker, Kane, and the man he would pin to end the match, Chris Benoit. In the year 2005, Ring of Honor Survival of the Fittest had a 6-way elimination match in the main event, in which Roderick Strong, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Colt Cabana, and Jay Lethal fought a 15-minute main event. Each wrestler had won matches earlier in the evening to get into the final match, which was ultimately won by Strong. In the year 2006, TNA No Surrender came from the Impact Zone, Orlando, Florida. The main event was billed as a fans' revenge lumberjack match between Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett, with 18 fans surrounding the ring equipped with leather straps. Joe would win the match via pinfall. This wasn't the most unique match on the card, though, as earlier in the night there was a 16-man triple chance tag team battle royal when a wrestler got eliminated. When a wrestler got eliminated over the top rope, and they would stay at ringside until their partner was eliminated. They both would leave ringside. That sounds rather complicated if you ask me. However, when the match got down to the last two wrestlers, the partners would rejoin the action and it would become a standard 2-on-2 tag team match. Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens won the match and became number one contenders for the tag team belts. The card also featured a Wild Ultimate X match. This sounds like a Russo idea, if you ask me. Then we have some notable wrestling birthdays for September the 24th. We have Sonya Deville, who was born in 1993. We have Shane Thorne, born in 1985. Christopher Nowinski was born on September 24th, 1978. And happy birthday goes out to Stephanie McMahon, who was born in 1976 on September the 24th. And those are all the things that happened on this day in the world of professional wrestling. Now let's take a look at some of the things that happened in the world of music. To end this installment for On This Day, we'll take a look at the notable headlines in the world of music here. On September the 24th, 1991, Nirvana released Nevermind, the seminal album which marked the Seattle band's sophomore full-length major label debut. Was recorded at Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, California, in May and June of 1991, and produced by Butch Vig. While Nevermind was initially slow to move up the charts, the success of single Smells Like Teen Spirit eventually pushed the album to number one in January 1992. It has become one of the world's best-selling albums of all time. The influence of Nevermind, meanwhile, cannot be understated. Featuring such a genre-defining songs as Come As You Are, Lithium, In Bloom, and of course Smells Like Teen Spirit, the album shifted the course of modern music and paved the way for countless alt-rock bands to find mainstream success in their wake. In 1957, Elvis Presley released his classic hit, Jailhouse Rock. The song was recorded for the film of the same name, in which Presley played Vince Everett, an inmate who learns the guitar while in prison and eventually becomes a star after his release. The influential song was a massive hit, topping the US and UK pop charts and landing in the top 10 across the globe. In 1984, Culture Club soared their second number one hit in the UK with Karma Chamberlain. The track followed their first chart topper, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? In 1988, jazz vocalist Bobby McFerrin began a 2-week run at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 with his laid-back classic, Don't Worry, Be Happy. In 2012, Mumford & Sons released their second studio album, Babel. Topping the charts in both the US and the UK, Babel became the fastest-selling album of 2012 in the UK and marked the year's highest-selling debut in the US. In 2006, Scissor Sisters enjoyed concurrent runs at top of the UK albums and singles charts with their sophomore effort, Ta-Da and I Don't Feel Like Dancing, respectively. In 1966, Jimi Hendrix landed in London, where he would soon find success as an artist. Joined by his manager, Chas Chandler, Hendrix famously arrived with just the clothes on his back, having sold the rest of his threads to settle a hotel bill in New York. We have some birthdays here in the world of music. We have Barbara Albert from the Angels, born in 1940. Born in 1942, Jerry Marsden from Jerry and the Peacemakers. Phyllis Albert from the Angels, born in 1942. Linda McCartney, born on this day in 1942. Born in 1946, Jerry Donahue from Fairport Convention, and Peter Salisbury from The Verve was born on this day in 1971. And those are all the things that happened on this day in the world of music. Now, I do believe it is time. We're 20 minutes in, and it is time for the main event of the Rock Out Wild Show for episode number 39. And what I'm going to do is I am going to react to an old review of mine, a review for a live concert called Black Symphony, and the band is Within Temptation. Now, why am I talking about this now? Well, because, like I mentioned earlier, this concert celebrates its 17-year anniversary, and I think it's only fitting that I talk about this live show and also react to my old review of this very concert. Now, when it comes to this album, this Black Symphony is the third live album by Dutch symphonic metal band Within Temptation. It was released worldwide on the 22nd and 24th of September 2008. It is available on 2-disc DVD, 2-disc CD, and Blu-ray. I have this on DVD. Sony Poland announced that the item to be released on 3LP release was due on Friday, December 28th, 2018. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot a couple of things, share screen a couple of things. One, let's take a look at the track listing to see what songs that they actually played. So let's scroll all the way down here. They played, now in the beginning, they have an overture, which was conducted by Jules Buckley. They have a big band there with strings, violins, trumpets, the big whole shebang. So they were on for about 8 minutes or so, giving their overture before the band came out. Then the band came out, they performed Jillian, I Give My Heart. Then they played The Howling, Stand My Ground, The Cross, What Have You Done, which featured Keith Caputo up on stage with Sharon, the lead singer of Within Temptation. Followed by, then we have Hand of Sorrow, The Heart of Everything. And then they get into their somewhat middle portion of the show where they go a little bit more lighter, a little bit more acoustic with songs like Forgiven, which was just done on piano, and Sharon, who was singing the song as well. A very beautiful rendition, by the way. And then we have the greatest duet ever with Sharon and Anik up on stage singing the song Somewhere. And then we have the Swan Song as well as Memories. And those songs right there, from Forgiven to Memories, are the acoustic portion of the show. Then we have Our Solemn Hour, which kicks off the next portion of the show, where they get back into that heaviness of it. And then the other half of me, which is special guest star George, probably easily the best grunter in the business. And then we have Frozen, The Promise, which is one of their big songs. Angels, where they have like people on stilts as they come out while Sharon performs Angels. Then we have Mother Earth. Then we have one of my favorites, The Truth Beneath the Rose. Then we have Deceiver of Fools, All I Need, which was a really good ballad. And Ice Queen, which is pretty much their big hit and the celebration and the culmination of the past some odd years they've been up on stage and performing and studio albums and all that stuff. Ice Queen is their biggest hit, and how appropriate that they would end the show with that song. Right now, I am going to react to an old video of mine where I actually reviewed the show Black Symphony. So I'm going to share this screen. And as you see there, it is Within Temptation Black Symphony review. And let's react to this review. And while I'm reacting to this, I might give out some new thoughts along the way, and maybe after, maybe talk about it a little bit more, see if my review still holds up to this day. So, without further ado, let's react to my review for Within Temptation's Black Symphony live concert in the Netherlands. Oh, by the way, not only do they have the big band, they also have the choir as well. Perfect combination. So, let's get this going in 3, 2, 1, hit it.
I have reviewed movies, I have reviewed TV shows, I've done trailer reactions, I have a lot of ranking videos, I even done a review of a concert and a movie mixed into one, but
Yep.
this is the first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
This is a special kind of review for a
Before I should. Perfect. Now I got it up.
show that really holds a special place in my heart, and it's about damn time I actually started talking about it.
Damn right. Oh, we got different music here. Before I continue, I love that music. Thank you.
Hey, what is up, and how's it going? All movie fans in the movieverse, and welcome to another video with me, Mike McRock, and I am your host for the Mike McRock Movie Review Show. 10 years ago today, something really special came out.
Darn right.
Back in 2008, I discovered a band called Within Temptation. Or it was roughly around then. It was roughly 2008 or 2007-ish. Back in the good old MSN days, where I discovered that one of my friends on that social media platform was listening to a band called Within Temptation. I decided to check out this band for myself. I listened to their first song called Restless, and I was hooked from there. Then I decided to explore a lot.
I should add and note about this is that when I actually saw this song from a friend on Windows Live Messenger or MSN, it actually had Within Temptation Evanescence on there. And I thought I was going to listen to a song by Evanescence, but it wasn't. It was by Within Temptation, and it was that song Restless.
More of their songs and to go see what this band is all about, who they are, what the bandmates are, what songs do they have, and what albums do they have, and what shows and concerts they have as well. Believe me.
And I should add as well, there were Within Temptation were 4 albums in before I started listening to them.
They are a really great band, and to me, this is the be-all end-all when it comes to their genre of music. Now, who is Within Temptation?
Now, back then in 2008, that would be my answer. If you asked me back then who's the be-all end-all of symphonic metal, it is Within Temptation. But now in 2025, that answer is completely different. I think it's Epica, but this is not about Epica. I already done an episode about that. Let's talk about Within Temptation here.
First off, Within Temptation is a Dutch metal band that was founded in 1996 by lead singer Sharon Den Adel and guitarist Robert Westerholt. And this is a band that has gotten many labels like doom metal to Celtic metal, gothic metal, but what they are known to be now as a symphonic metal band. They've changed in various formats in some of their albums, but to me, the best of Within Temptation are the first few albums.
And I should add, they're not even symphonic metal anymore. They're completely far removed from that subgenre of symphonic metal. They're still heavy, but it's just not symphonic metal anymore.
They first came out with their album called Enter back in 1997.
I know that's blurry, but
then they came out in the year 2000 when they released this album called Mother Earth. Their third album, The Son of Forest, came out in 2004. Here it is right here. In 2007, they came out with their album, The Heart of Everything. To me, this is one of my favorite albums of that band. And they also came out with a concept album in 2011 called The Unforgiving. It's kind of like a comic book kind of CD. It's actually pretty cool. And in 2014, they released an album called Hydra. I'm not really a fan of that album, just to point
Yeah.
that out there.
Hmm.
But that's not the main focus of this video. The main focus of this video is
Since those albums came out, they had Resist and Bleed Out. Those were the only two.
their concert in 2008. What I am a fan of is what took place 10 years ago today, depending when you're watching this video. It could be like 10 years in day one of their recording.
Now, keep in mind, I'm saying 10 years. I recorded this review back in 2018, and now it's 2025, so now it's been 17 years.
Date of February 7th, 2008, live concert Black Symphony. This is a concert that leading up to this, you know it's going to be huge in production, huge in scope, huge in venue,
Yep.
huge in song list. There are 22 songs on this thing.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Basically, this show is huge in every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a show that the band worked with an orchestra and a choir, and when you have those elements at play here, everything is just elevated times 1,000. When I watched this show for the very first time, when I received this for Christmas several years ago, I said to myself, well, you know what? I just watched the greatest show on earth, and I'm not exaggerating.
Darn right.
I have
Darn
watched the
right.
show multiple times, and it only gets better by the viewing.
Yep.
The best positive that I have with Black Symphony is that it looks and feels like a theatrical experience. And if you were to ask me if this was playing at your local theater, you damn right I'm going. I would be the first to get a ticket for this. And I'd do it in a heartbeat. The theatrics of this show is absolutely breathtaking and just awe-inspiring. The visuals, the graphics, the colors all look grand in scope. The combination of the band, choir, and orchestra just mesh very naturally. They really do. The band knew when and where to place the orchestra and the choir in certain spots in each of their songs. When it's just Within Temptation up on stage, it's really good. But when you add that orchestra and choir to a show like this, it not only elevates each Within Temptation song, but it also adds to the viewing experience as well.
Yep.
Another great strength is
I should know this too. The sound in general is just huge and massive, just awe-inspiring, and just absolutely powerful, to say the very least.
Is the production value. You could tell that this took a lot of work to get this one down.
Yep.
And it did not disappoint at all. The show is directed extremely well here. It took 14 HD cameras to pull this off, and boy, did it ever. I love the long wide takes when it glides along here and there, when it pulls back here, when it zooms in and focuses on one specific band member, one specifically where one of the guitar players does a solo and it's just focused on him throughout the entire solo. I really enjoyed that, and there are plenty of shots of the audience as well.
And I'll say this too, there's really not a lot of guitar solos. There's only one guitar solo in the whole 2 hours and a bit of this live concert. Just one guitar solo, and that's really all you need. No pun intended.
And I love how the cameras managed to get a lot of people in here. This was a sold-out crowd venue. Even people from my province of Canada were, my country of Canada, were in this show as well. Even the arrangement of songs.
Province of Canada. Write that one down.
It is fantastic. I don't know if I would even change or switch songs here or there, I don't know if I would place something like The Deceiver of Fools in the beginning, because that's like one of their biggest songs. You really want to save a song like that for last. And I don't know if I would put something like The Howling at the end, because I don't know if that would actually be a song that you would really, really anticipate. So I really like how they arranged their songs on the show.
Yeah, especially where they put the promise, like right in between some of the songs in the second half portion of the show. I wouldn't kick off with the promise at all. I would leave that to later, which I'm glad that they did. And I like also that the that they those first 4 to 5 songs were singles that you knew, and then later on they put in the real heavy ones, and then they mix it up with some of the singles in that second half portion. Like I said, the arrangement of the songs absolutely brilliant.
It started off with the choir and the orchestra to get the audience ready to anticipate when the band would come out. That was a really nice touch to it. And I'm not going to list all of the songs here that they played, but I will mention that they end with the most appropriate song. I'm not going to name it, but I will say that it is a song that really got them noticed.
That's
Also, the
one.
show
Ice
has
Queen.
3 special guests. Keith Caputo,
Mhm.
obviously, for What Have You Done?
Yep.
That song is already a duet song with him anyway, so you had to have him in here
Yep.
for that show, and they delivered.
They delivered.
And there's also a couple of other notable guest appearances as well. And again, I'm not going to mention who they are, but I think they come out at the right spots and at the right songs. I
Mhm.
especially like that each special guest felt different from the other.
They
One came
did.
out during a ballad, and it's a really good back and forth with Sharon and that special guest.
Mhm.
And the other came out in a really fast-paced, explosive, upbeat type of song. I
Yep.
really enjoyed it, and the only thing I'll say is that he's a grunter, and a damn good grunter at that.
Damn right.
Another really positive element to the show is the show structure itself. The first 8 songs was, let the audience let's just get the audience into it with some
Yep.
really strong, notable songs here to begin with.
Mhm.
Then you have the next batch of songs. The next 4 songs was like an unplugged part of the show,
Yep.
letting the audience a bit of air to breathe. And then you get
Yeah, and also let them cool down as well.
into the final hour of the show, the next 7 songs, which had the more notable, powerful, uplifting songs. And the final 3 songs just really hit the show home.
Yeah.
Even the lighting changes as well as Sharon's dresses changes when you know another segment of the show is coming as well.
Mhm.
The little things do matter.
Yeah, I do like that Sharon changed clothes and dresses like in certain parts of the concert, to mix it up. Again, like I said, the little things matter.
Speaking of the little things, to me, the little things of the show even make it more exciting, like Sharon's hand gestures and her looking at her hands. I love it when a singer, like sings in front of a crowd, and they have the fear of just staying still and being nervous, but it looks like that Sharon knows exactly what to do in certain songs and in certain places when she's doing these hand gestures. It's like her hand movements are telling another story in itself,
Yeah, they
and
are. Yeah,
it works for a show like this. And other
and I'll note this as well. Everyone seemed comfortable up on stage. Really.
things that just come unexpectedly and come across as really sweet as well. One where Keith Caputo kissing Robert's forehead. I actually thought that was pretty sweet. Sharon kissing the frog and Sharon holding on to a heart-shaped pillow and dancing with it to All I Need. I like some of those little things that make something even stand out.
And I want to note as well when one of the guitarists had done his guitar solo, Sharon just grabbed the microphone stand, held it back, and also she also went back too, and let the guitarist have the spotlight. Again, the little things matter. I love that Sharon done that.
Just a bit more than they already do. Now, as much as I really do love this show, and I do, I think it's one of the best shows I've seen of a
Yeah.
band performing on stage, it's not a perfect show. I only really have a couple of minor little nitpicks about it. Now, before the show took place, Sharon Adele, the lead singer, was going through a bit of a rough patch and a bit of a sore throat here. Now, when I first saw the show, not even knowing that, I wouldn't have picked that out at all. I thought she was great while she was singing throughout the entire show. But
Right.
now, because I have viewed this multiple times now, you kind of start to notice things. And I thought she hid that sore throat pretty well.
She did, yeah.
But I did notice that there was a couple of times where she had a bit of that sore throat in her. Kind of noticed that a little bit, but it's nothing that really detracts from
Yeah. Most notable the song Memories. Now, I don't think she fumbled the song Memories while performing that up on stage for the show, but I did notice that sometimes she's just a little bit off.
the viewing experience of this show at all. It really doesn't. And also during one of their unplugged songs, the Swan song, I noticed something that I don't know if it was actually necessary. For some reason, whoever was behind the camera control room decided to put just a little too much emphasis on one woman in the audience. They showed her like 5 or 6 times. I was like, okay, I get it. She's pretty. Let's move on. You only need to see her maybe once or twice when you have a band up on stage performing. But
I mean, there's other people in the concert. Come on.
again, it's nothing that hinders this overall show in any way at all because Within Temptations, Black Symphony is absolutely incredible. It has great production value. The structure of the show was really effective. The songs they chose to play here were Within Temptations' greatest hits. The theatrics of this were outstanding.
Yep.
I got really emotional watching this again on its 10-year anniversary of its recording date. This is 2 hours and 6 minutes of epicness I can't describe, and this show is worth the big score of 95 points out of 100.
I right now will bump that up to a 99 out of 100 for a 4 point jump.
And if you saw this show of Within Temptations Black Symphony, what did you think about it? Feel free to leave those comments right here in the comment section below. But if you never heard of this before, never heard of the band, never heard of the show, you know what? This is the show I would recommend you to watch if you want to get into this band. Believe me, this is worth the watch. All 2 hours and 6 minutes of it.
Done right.
And you can also hit that subscribe button down below this video as well to get McRocked.
Yeah, so that was my past review for Within Temptations Black Symphony, and I will say this to me, and I still stand by this. This is Within Temptations' magnum opus when it comes to live concerts, and I highly recommend it. Absolutely highly recommend it. The only other thing I would add to this concert, now this is only I'm only talking about the 2 hour and 6 minute live show. They don't play a single song from their first album, Enter. Now, I know there is a bonus DVD on another thing that I actually don't have, but I did find it on YouTube. You can actually check that out where they do play some stuff from their first album. But just for the 2 hour and 6 minute live show, not a single one. I mean, they could have played something like a Pearls of Light or the title track Enter on here. Bloodied, which is a really good instrumental. They could have added something from that first album. That's the only other thing I would say as a nitpick, but overall, the show is absolutely fantastic from all the reasons that I mentioned in that review that I reacted to. And this has been episode number 39 of the Rock Out Wild Show. I'm going to leave you all with a quote, and it goes something like this. Taking time each day to be present in the moment to breathe deeply, to notice the beauty around you. These are powerful acts of self care. Remember, mindfulness isn't about being perfect, it's about being aware and accepting of your thoughts and emotions. Embrace the journey of self discovery, of finding peace within yourself. Each moment you spend being mindful is a gift to your well being and to those around you. Keep nurturing your mindfulness practice and may it continue to bring you clarity, serenity, and joy. You are on the path of self awareness and growth. Celebrate this beautiful journey. This has been episode number 39 of the Rock Out Wild Show, and I am your host, Just Mike. On a final note to all of you watching, get plenty of rest and always do your best.